what have you seen has been some of the biggest resistance to this type of curriculum and coaching and training within organizations?
I think the biggest challenge is ego.
Yeah.
It just genuinely, truly is ego.
Yeah.
It is that, well, I wouldn't have this job if I wasn't good. So how dare you come in and tell me that I'm not good or that I don't care about people? Or, even I've had managers come to me and say, will you please coach me? And then when it gets too hard, they stop returning phone calls. They stop setting up meetings. And it's like, do you really want to be better, or do you want to say that you're trying to be better? And it takes hard work. It takes the look inside yourself.
That's the element of fear.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
You have to take a look inside yourself. I always tell my clients or anyone and that will say who's in a leadership role, I'll say, well, what type of leader do you want to be?
Right.
And majority of the time, 80% of the time, it's very difficult to answer that. And I'll say, you've got a month.
Yeah.
You've got a month. That's a good amount of time to lay out, get into whatever practices you need to get to a state to where you can actually solidify on paper what kind of leader you want to be.
Yeah.
Because what happens, it challenges you to think about the type of person you are as well.
Right. Right.
And that's tough.
Yeah.
That's fucking tough for people to do.
Is. And you have to surround yourself with people that will be honest with you.
Yeah.
I remember early in my career, I went to this breakfast.
And disagree with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I went to this breakfast that I probably didn't belong at. But Mitch Holtis was the speaker. And he talked about surrounding himself with a group of advisors. So he's the Chiefs. He's the voice of the Chiefs.
Nico, don't laugh. Don't laugh. This is hey, no offense. This is not a gay moment. This is a Clint Bradley lived under a rock growing up moment. That's all this
Have
is.
you
All
never
right,
heard
go.
Touchdown Kansas City? Oh, bless
I
your
just
hearts.
love the Chiefs. I'm really bad at names and getting into the I'm
no
not part of the
judgment.
cult.
It's okay, no
But
judgment.
I love the kingdom.
Yes.
I'm a big supporter.
Well, and I happen to know him because he worked for the Missouri Valley Conference.
Okay.
And my husband used to work with him.
What's his name again?
Mitch Holtis.
My apologies, Mitch. If you want to come on the show, I'm more than happy to have you.
He's awesome. But he was talking about having an advisor group and surrounding yourself with people that will be honest with you.
Okay.
Like not surrounding yourself with just cheerleaders, but really having those people around you that will challenge you.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky enough because several of my closest friends are my closest advisors. And so when I'm ready to make a tough decision, I will go to my girlfriend Lynn and say,
yeah.
And she is very open and honest and will say, not a fit or nope. And I'm lucky because I have a husband that if I say, do I look fat in these jeans? He'll be like, yep.
Oh my God. I feel like your husband and my husband need to get together.
Right.
Bold honesty.
Yeah.
It's loving, but bold honesty.
But I'd rather have someone be like, don't wear that than, oh, you look fantastic. And then you go out and then everyone's like, God, who didn't tell her what she looks like?
Right.
But it helps you be a better leader.
That's the difference between nice and kind right there. Perfect illustration.
Yes. And you got to surround yourself who will be kind to you. Because you don't want to be a bad leader. You don't want to be a bad person. And if you don't know that you're hurting people's feelings, you can't ever fix it.
That's what often worries me sometimes about, and I might get slapped in the face by some of my diversity and inclusion colleagues. So sometimes that's my worry, not just me, but the evidence and articles that have come out now about these ERGs, employee resource groups, that are acting as echo chambers. Yes. And even these networking groups, professional networking groups that are also acting as echo chambers. Right. In the sense it's like, well, what are you growing from?
Right.
You know, where's the discomfort of being like challenging thoughts? And I've always found in my growth, I'm like, I need to be challenged because this right now is boring.
Yeah.
I hear the same thing. I need to be challenged.
Yeah. And it's interesting you say that because I've always been very proud of myself being very inclusive and always trying to pull people up and, get people seats at the table, which I hate that term, but it's true. Give people opportunities, things like that. But I have become good friends with Andre Davis, and I was very proud to say, Andre, look at this panel I put together. And he looked me in the eye and said, where's your black people? And I'm like, are you like,
yeah,
shame on me.
Yeah.
I know better, and I know great people to be on a panel. And he gave me just the most beautiful story for us to think about. When we think about, kids on the playground, and if we saw a group of Black kids, Asian kids, kids that don't, if all the white kids were playing on the playground and, the underrepresented kids were sitting on the side, we would say, go play. Come on, go. But there's a point where in our careers, we stop doing that.
Yeah.
And we need to not just make sure we're inviting people, but I can't walk into a room and look around and say, oh, well, I'm comfortable with that table.
Yeah.
I need to go to the table I'm not comfortable with. And I need to put myself in situations where I'm learning and I'm growing and I'm seeing, different sides of things.
Yeah.
And for someone who's always been very proud to say, I'm very inclusive. It's been a really cool 18 months to say there's still growth. There's room to get better.
I feel like it's just like the natural pattern of human development is that we are challenged. I mean, it's no difference, moving water, if it's still and everybody's saying it becomes stagnant and it stinks. There's no flow. There's no rhythm to it and everything. It just becomes that. So challenge me.
Yeah.
Challenge me.
And the only way to become better leaders.
Which Nico does every day. You see, yeah. I think there's going to be a roasting one day, I'm sure.
But we do need those people that challenge us and push us. And the only way to get better at what we do is to be uncomfortable.
Yeah. And it is. I think a lot of times I am attracted to leaders. I'm attracted to friends. I'm attracted, my husband, for that simple thing. They challenge my mentors. They challenge my thought. They challenge my actions.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like it all the time.
It does not feel good.
No, I think I've learned to communicate to be like, I need to go for a walk.
Yeah.
Before I hurt you.